지금 저희가 CPAC 마지막 날 행사에 지금 와 있고요. 지금 캐릴 레이크 애리조나주 상원 후보가 연설을 하고 있는 중인데요. 이 연설이 끝나고 나면 트럼프 대통령이 연설을 이어서 하게 될 예정입니다. 일단은 캐릴 레이크 상원 후보고 연설하는 것부터 계속해서 내보내드리도록 하겠습니다.
The media wants us divided. The left wants us divided. We don't care if you woke up 20 years ago, 20 months ago, 20 days ago, or if you finally woke up 20 minutes ago. We welcome you into the America First with open arms. If you love secure borders, if you want a strong economy, if you want peace and prosperity, there's a good chance you are an America First patriot, you just don't know it. I do want to leave you with this, because I know that sometimes it gets scary, what we're dealing with. We're human. But God is with us. He's so moving mountains for us right now. I want you to know that God does not make mistakes. I think He put me here for this moment. I know He put you here for this moment. He put all of us here at this moment, just like our founding fathers back in 1776. We were born for this moment. You may not think you can make a big difference, but you can. You have to use every gift God gave you at this moment to save this country. Register people to vote, knock on doors, get involved with the campaign. Anything that you care about, get involved and help President Trump. If you're in Arizona or anywhere around the country, help me. You can go to my website, carrylake.com, and find out how. We all have a role to play in this fight. We've got 8.5 months to save America, and I know we are going to do it. I know it. And this time, and just think, this time next year at CPAC 2025, we are going to have a lot more to celebrate. It's going to be a huge celebration. I'm ready to make America great again, are you? Let's do it! CPAC, let's do it, America! Thank you! God bless you! Love each and every one of you. Let's go! Rock 2024!
네, 지금 보신 것처럼요, 그 어떤 때보다도 지금 열기가 뜨겁습니다. 일단 관중들도 엄청나게 많이 온 데다가 오늘 트럼프 대통령이 출연하는 날이기 때문에 더 그런 것 같습니다. 일단은 올해 CPAC 행사 주제 자체가 Where Globalism
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome President of Judicial Watch.
주디셜 와치의 탐 피튼 회장이 지금 이제 강사로 나오고 있습니다. 주디셜 와치는 굉장히 많은 법정 싸움을 주제로 해서 주로 다루고 알리고 있는 그런 조직이죠. 탐 피튼 회장의 이야기도 한번 들어보도록 하겠습니다.
You know, it feels like I'm the only one here not running for vice president. Well, who knows what'll happen, right? And maybe the FBI needs some help or a new director. How about that? Judicial Watch is your watchdog in Washington, feared by Democrats and Republicans alike. You know, but frankly, you got to begin with some bad news. It's too late. The 2024 election has already been compromised by the Biden Democratic Party's unprecedented prosecutorial assault on the civil rights of President Donald J. Trump. There is a storm front of selective, vindictive, political, and anti-constitutional prosecutions going from Miami, up through Fulton County, Georgia, here in D.C., and of course up into New York. And the front is expanded to other states where lawyers, Republican Party officials, and volunteers are being harassed, sued, disbarred, and prosecuted for exercising their God-given First Amendment and other rights to dispute an election. You know, let me be clear, moving to jail, president candidate, seizing his assets, destroying his business, and keeping his name off the ballot are all about turning America into a one-party state. And by the way, isn't fraudulently using the 14th Amendment and falsely accusing Trump of insurrection to keep him off the ballot insurrection in itself? If those abusers want to play the insurrectionist game, then virtually the entire deep state left media and DC ruling class will have some questions to answer. But how do we overcome the election rigging? How do we overcome it? Well, Judicial Watch knows what to do. Sue them! Counting votes of ballots that arrive after Election Day, that invites voter fraud, undermines voter confidence, and it's illegal. We're suing 2 states, Mississippi and Illinois, to stop that lawlessness. And of course, we have to ensure voting rolls are clean, because dirty voting rolls can mean dirty elections. The rolls are a mess, but Judicial Watch's heavy lifting is getting results. Our historic election lawsuits and pressure have led to 4 million dirty names being removed from the voting rolls in the last year or so. That is huge. LA County confirmed they removed 1.2 million names from the rolls. One county. DC just removed 138,000 names. That's 15% of their entire voting list. Of course, more lawsuits are coming. And on top of that, we have to shut down the border invasion, the Biden border invasion. And we need to deport those illegal aliens as soon as possible. And here's a key reason why. Their mere presence will ensure increased power for leftist politicians and their allies. If passed as prologue, these billions of illegals could help ensure that leftists get dozens of extra seats in Congress after the next census. Our Congress should answer to American citizens, not invaders from abroad. Again, the formula for free and fair elections is simple, right? Number 1 is free Trump. The rest you also know: voter ID, citizenship verification, no mass mail-in voting, vote in person on Election Day, and no ballot harvesting. Again, and let's complete the count on Election Day. Not having final results on Election Day 2024 would be another disaster for voter confidence. You know, I got very upset again recently about January 6th. I was rewatching the video of the needless killing of Ashley Babbitt, the Air Force veteran, shot for no good reason by Lieutenant Michael Byrd of the U.S. Capitol Police. And I've watched those videos. I can't believe he just shot her dead like that. I just can't believe it. And few in this corrupt city give a rat's tail about that awful shooting. But millions of Americans care. And her family cares. I think her mom, Nikki, is still here at CPAC. Nikki here? Well, give her a round of applause anyway. Judicial Watch just filed a $30 million wrongful death lawsuit against the U.S. government. As our lawsuit states, the facts speak truth. Ashley was ambushed when she was shot by Lieutenant Byrd. Multiple
1월 6일 이후의
witnesses
사태에서 후배 경찰의 총에 맞아 사망한 애슐리 베비에 대한 이야기를 하고 있고요. 애슐리 베비의
years to get justice for Ashley.
공격이 잘못됐다라는 걸 아주 주디셜 와치에서 지금 300억 달러의 손해배상 청구 소송을 냈다는 이야기를 했습니다. 그래서 박수를 크게 받았습니다.
And the next honest president should provide pardons and commutations for the January 6th prosecutors.
이번 CPAC에서 계속 나오는 이야기인데요. 그 제뉴어리 6, 1월 6일 사태 때문에 투옥된 분들, 그분들이 지금 조사받는 것을 멈추게 하려는 움직임들. 그들을 구하기 위한 노력들이 계속 진행되고 있습니다.
By Republicans in Congress and the Biden Justice Department. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Speaker Johnson, call your office. Well, you know, I don't need to tell you, we're in banana republic territory now. The Biden administration, with its unprecedented and political prosecutions of Trump, is now officially a regime. Now, I've seen it up close. I've seen it up close. Not too long ago, I had significant skin cancer surgery. And a few hours after I got home, I'm on the couch recovering, feeling sorry for myself, when the FBI comes knocking. They came knocking on my door with a grand jury subpoena for the Biden DOJ. The agents tried to be pleasant and helpfully pointed out that something had come to me from Amazon. I suspect I am the first person in American history to receive FBI notice of an Amazon package. I ended up being hassled and abused by the special counsel team for 4 hours over Trump documents, my First Amendment rights, and what I had for lunch with President Trump. It was a partisan fishing expedition. Frankly, it was like having to spend a day on an MSNBC panel. But I knew why they brought me before that grand jury. It was payback and intimidation for daring to defend Trump against their abuse of power. But we weren't intimidated by prosecutorial abuse. In fact, Judicial Watch sued and is in federal court now for the names of the top staff of Jack Smith's team. We want to know just who is helping the Biden administration rig our elections by abusing Trump and other innocents. Biden DOJ seems to think they can hire the likes of Michelle Obama or Adam Schiff and not have to tell the public. If you're wondering why the court should uphold the transparency law of Jack Smith, I'd call your attention to how Fani Willis and Nathan Wade have been using their political prosecution of Trump to launder tax money to go on vacation sprees together. Are Jack Smith's team members biased or conflicted? Or are they unbiased, nonpartisan professionals? Well, they're hiding the names, so I think we all know what the answer to that is. And one more thing, if the regime is going to change the rules so Trump can be prosecuted, Obama must be prosecuted.
만약에 트럼프가 기소된다고 한다면 오바마야 기소된다라고 이야기를 해서 다시 박수를 받고 있습니다.
And our elderly, well-meaning, with a failing memory president seems to have been the head of a family RICO operation for decades. Joe Biden is the most corrupt president since he was vice president. Cocaine in the White House is the least of his problems. But did you see how Judicial Watch uncovered how Biden's dog Secret Service and White House personnel? What sort of crazy dog owner would allow his pet to bite and viciously attack repeatedly the men and women protecting his life? And of course, there's also serious evidence of criminal activity by the Justice Department, the FBI, and IRS, and those agencies handling Hunter and Joe Biden's criminal investigations. That Biden is mentally unfit and prosecute him or move forward.
Freedom and the Constitution.
For America is exactly
exactly on track and is doing the right thing for the future of our country and our children.
Moms for America is going at the heart of the issue.
I am honored to join Moms for America today as we speak out against the horrific mandates.
With a national network of over 500,000 mothers, Moms for America is one of the fastest growing movements of women in the country.
The most dangerous place in all of nature is between a mama bear and her baby cub.
We are the change. No matter what, no matter where, and no matter how difficult the obstacles are that are facing us and our families, we will not give up and we will not give in.
So if not now, then when? If not you, then who? Welcome to the Womanly Revolution.
네, 지금 버링이 계속되고 있어서 죄송한데요. 근데 잠시 뒤에 도널드 트럼프 대통령이 연설을 하러 나올 예정입니다.
Join us next year at CPAC. Head to CPAC.org.
작년에는 이렇게 할 수가 없었는데요. 또 작년보다는 조금 좀 나아진 환경이긴 합니다만 인터넷 별일 없이 잘 되기를 기도해 주시면 감사하겠습니다.
From the government, we're here to help. And they are formed by climate change activists, new technologies, and massive geopolitical instability. Energy policies have profound implications. The last 3 years have seen record high gas prices and once-in-a-generation inflation. Energy has been at the center of all of it. During President Biden's first month in office, American oil production fell nearly 27% from its previous high. By the summer of 2022, a gallon of gas averaged more than $5 for the first time. All the while, Biden drained our strategic petroleum reserve, looking the other way from Iran's oil sanctions, and begged other nations to produce more oil. Not to mention, they're ready to take away your car, your gas stove, and hot water heater as the election nears. Stay tuned for more updates, because in 2024, energy is on the ballot.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Trump, our ace in the hole. Please welcome founder of Key Square Group, Scott Bessent, and former senior advisor to the President of the United States, Kevin Hassett.
It's so great to be back at CPAC. I'm not sure that there are a lot of polls going on here this week, and I'm going to take one right now. So how many people here think the economy is better now than it was 4 years ago? Okay, how many people think the economy was better 4 years ago than it is now? So I guess it wasn't that much better. You want to try that one again? Was it better 4 years ago? Yeah. Okay, well, a lot of folks in the mainstream media, probably back over there, think that you people are morons. They say that the economy is fantastic, and you just don't understand. But I'm going to give you 2 facts, and then I want to introduce you to somebody who you're going to get to know a lot more about in the next year. But here's 2 facts for you. If you look at employment, then the Biden administration right now will brag that 2.6 million people are working today, or there are more people working today than right before the pandemic. But if you look at the numbers, 2.8 million of those are illegal immigrants. And almost 200,000 of U.S.-born people fewer are working today than when President Biden took office or pre-pandemic. And so people who are born in the U.S. are actually seeing the same thing you are. And so when they do these surveys, they say, well, why is the economy doing not so good if the numbers are so good? It's that the numbers are jacked up by illegal immigrants getting your jobs. But the second thing that's happening is that the government is borrowing lots of money. And then here's the scariest thing that I saw last year in the data. that last year GDP went up by $1.6 trillion, and everybody in the White House and in the media is bragging about how strong the economy is. But the government debt increased by $2 trillion. And so the government debt increased by $400 million more than GDP last year. And if you wonder, well, is that what Bidenomics is? If you look at the next 10 years, they say that debt is going to grow faster than GDP in every year, sometimes by as much as almost $1 trillion. And so what it means is this is a real test. And you might wonder, how are we going to fix this? And I can tell you that the cavalry is coming. And when the cavalry arrives, and it's not that far off, that somebody who's going to be right on one of the first horses is my friend Scott, who's a legendary investor. And, let's just say he's a legendary investor, incredibly successful, a huge amount to lose.
When he will have a mandate from the American people. And that no one in the Trump tax cuts being extended. And I want to give a shout out to Kevin here. Donald Trump captained the economy. This guy was running the agenda. Kevin, it's easy for him to say the cavalry is coming to the rescue. There's a group of us who, America has been great to us. We went to Wall Street. I want to come. I want to step and help now. And there's a group of great Americans, whether it's Governor Youngkin in Virginia next door, whether it's J.D. Vance, who gave a great talk yesterday, whether it's Representative Byron Donalds, who had a great career as a financial planner. And I think that there is a group of us who see what is happening with the country and are armed enough, as Kevin says, to put ourselves at risk. But there is also a group like Kevin who were in there the whole time. And everybody should thank him for his service and hope that he is called on to serve again.
I just want to say that I had this really fun conversation with Neil Cavuto on the Fox the other day, where he was sort of saying that he didn't think anyone could work for President Trump because he's so hard on his employees. And I got to just say that I have so many stories about how much fun it was to work with this guy and how generous he was to at one point, one of my staffers got cancer. And the president was sending him notes and asking about how the person's doing. And so you would say, well, why would anyone go back in? The reason is just this, that he does, he does say you're fired, right? But that's what businessmen do. They hire people, and if they don't do the job well, then they get rid of them and they bring somebody else. And I asked Neil, I said, and I asked you, can you think of one person that President Biden has fired? And so is he paying attention? Or did he just hire the most perfect set of people in the history of the U.S. government? But this is the thing, that by the end, President Trump had a team of loyal people that he had tested and that were willing to stay in even with all the difficulties and everything, and I'm sure that they would go back. And I don't see a huge lineup of people like you, Scott, who are stepping in and saying, the future of our country is at stake, and so we got to do something about it.
We do have to do something, and I'll come back to my list on who I think President Biden should fire, or more importantly, the American people should fire on November 5th. But, I will tell you, is obviously Bidenomics is a disaster. But I actually think, no one likes that term, and even Biden's trying to run from it. But I don't think it's Bidenomics. Calling it Bidenomics is a compliment that it does not deserve. Bidenomics is a play on Reaganomics, and that was a supply-side solution that changed America in the 1980s. After the Carter malaise, President Reagan came in and unleashed the American economy. Joe Biden is doing the opposite. He is shackling the American economy with debt. I call it, wait for it, Bidenism. It is Bidenism, and I think that it is fortuitous that we have the president of Argentina today speaking. What state of cronyism. It is the state taking over the means of production. It is putting on so much debt that it can never be rolled back. We're here from Steve Moore, one of the great supply-siders. Kevin, we can still grow our way. If we get to this problem now, we can still grow our way out.
Hallo, hallo. Na, haben wir gestern gar nicht drüber geredet, dass wir hier aufladen würden, ne?
Nee, genau.
But I will tell
Sorry.
you, 4 years of Joe Biden, and this is point of no return. It will mean big tax increase. It will mean government debt is so big we can have a debt crisis.
You know, so you wrote this piece that had all these charts in it, so I really love charts. And it showed that the market's been going up in response to the polls. And I wonder if you could go into the details of that for these people, because it's a really striking chart.
Yeah.
Let's put it up right now, but it's very easy to talk.
So since November 2023, 2022, every time Donald Trump has been headed to polls, we take a cumulative amount. The market is up 35%. Then Joe Biden headed to polls, the market's up 3%. Why is that? Again, the market is anchoring on Donald Trump's pro-capital policy, extending the Trump tax cuts, which expire in 2025, lighter touch regulation, energy independence. When I was with the president in Greenville the other night, he said he wants $40 oil based on American carbon. And so that's what we can expect. On the other side, since 1952, when there's an incumbent running, the market is always up. Why is that? Because the president, the incumbent president's political apparatus is pumping away. Janet Yellen, Jay Powell are putting their thumbs on the scale for Joe Biden. The market likes that.
Es ist eine ganz
The
blöde
market
Situation.
sees Donald Trump winning.
Unangenehm.
Secretary Yellen sees the same polls we do and is getting desperate. So you should expect between now and election day, there's going to be a lot of financial shenanigans. But I think we're in a nirvana situation right now. President Trump headed the polls, Secretary Yellen can't.
You know, reminds me of talking about the president of the stock market. I remember one day I was on TV with Donald Trump at the White House and announced a change in policy that the president had come up with. And that day, the stock market went up 1,000 points, the Dow. And that night I was like driving home and I got a call from the president from Air Force One. And he said, Kevin, we should just put you on every day. But it was him. It was him, and I think that the markets are actually looking ahead and saying, oh yeah, policy changes are necessary, and they're likely to come. But one of the things that I don't understand, though, is that when I look at the economic policies of these guys, they constantly seem to not really care about what the data is saying, or what the truth is. And so we heard forever and ever that income inequality is like the most important thing, and then after the tax cuts passed, income inequality dropped sharply. 2 years in a row, two of the biggest drops we ever had. And yet all of a sudden, all these people who told us we should only care about income inequality, they were quiet. And so I wrote a piece of National Review recently about this, and I want to actually hear you comment on this. And the thing is that if you go back and read Marx says that it's wrong for the left to focus on income inequality and redistribute income. Because if you do that, then you basically sustain the evil and capitalist institutions. That the job of the left is to destroy all of our institutions. And so do you think that that's actually a rational plan that's going on with these people, or do you think they really just don't understand it now?
I think it is a plan, and I think they have a plan for the reason. I developed a phrase, I call it the maximalist point of no return. And I think that they're trying to do it in the 4 years, and if they get 8 years, we really will be beyond the point of no return. And I think it entails 3 things. Is 1, massive deficit
and the government becoming a bigger part of the economy. We are seeing a takeover of the economy, and we're at the point. This will be the first year ever that interest expense is higher than our national defense budget. Think about that. The Chinese own our debt, and they are getting such high interest rates that we can't afford to update our weapons. I would say that the other thing that they are taking to the point of no return is this Green New Deal reindustrialization, which my view is it's going to be a bunch of stranded assets that we have spent trillions on. Make no mistake, this Inflation Reduction Act gives a green investment bank. Just yesterday, the CBO came out and said that there is going to be, that it's already $500 billion over budget. $500 billion. And accelerating. So they're trying to take us down this green road. That money should be spent on that. And then finally, I'm going to stay in my economics finance lane, but I think they're doing it on immigration. Is you open the border, you let in I don't know whether it's 8, 12, the president says there are 18 million undocumented illegal people who come across the border, and I think their strategy is just to take against the home. So, yeah, I think it's all in there.
Well, I have to now talk about something that has been a big topic here at CPAC, and I know it's something that's a delicate subject. But when Scott came out of small town South Carolina and started his legendary investment career, at the beginning, and please don't make a negative response to what I'm about to say. At the beginning, he started out working for George Soros. And so nobody understands that part of the world, I think, better than somebody who has been inside. And so what do you think about the efforts to undermine the rule of law and so on? What is going on there?
예, 상당히 다양한 이야기들이 지금 진행되고 있는데요. 일반적으로 전반적인 지금 현재 미국이 가지고 있는 문제들에 대한 이야기를 하나씩 다 이야기하고 있는 상태입니다. 지금은 조지 소로스에 대한 이야기를 하고 있습니다. 트럼프 대통령의 연설은 오후 1시에 시작이 될 예정입니다. 일정표가 계속 바뀌어가지고요. 지금 현재로서는 오후 1시에 시작이 될 예정입니다. 동부 시간이고요, 1시죠. I got a call in 1980 and met him in New Haven, Connecticut. How did I get the meeting? Nobody else in the Yale campus wanted to go see him. 이번 CPAC 행사에서는 이제 첫날부터 지금 말씀하고 있는 저분까지 계속해서 모든 연사들이 다들 트럼프를 지지한다라는 이야기들을 다 하고 있습니다. 요즘 트럼프 지지 대회인 거였죠, 올해 CPAC은.
And knowing how they think and what their moves are, I think that I can help our side get ready. Because I will tell you, you can say all the negative things you want to about George Soros. He is smart, he had a plan, and unfortunately it's worked. And now it's up to us to be smarter, have a better plan, and work harder. It's very simple.
네, 지금 이제 조지 소로스에 대한 이야기를 했는데 굉장히 똑똑하고 계획을 가지고 있고 실제로 일을 하고 있는 사람이다. 그 좌파 아젠다를 지금 확산하고 있는 것이죠. 그래서 그에게 조지 소로스에게 대항하기 위해서는 더 똑똑해져야 되고 철저한 계획을 세우고 더 열심히 일해야 된다. 뭐 이런 얘기를 해서 박수를 받았습니다.
as soon as what's his name came at CNN, almost started crying and said, "Oh, Hillary Clinton has no path to the presidency." The market crashed, and I thought, this is the greatest opportunity I've seen in years. And I have no personal knowledge. The Wall Street Journal reported that that night, George Soros lost $1 billion for betting against President Trump. So, let's see if inflation adjusts that number in 2024.
So you had talked a little bit about there are going to be a lot of efforts to juice up markets of the economy this year and keep the watch out a little bit. And then one of the things you mentioned is the Treasury. And I'd like you to walk people through how that works, because the Treasury has a big bank account with hundreds of millions of dollars in it, and it's basically they can start writing checks without the approval of Congress. And you think that they're about to start doing that between now and November, is that right?
I do, Kevin, and I think I have the high ground here with Secretary Yellen, is because 3 years ago in an article in an economics journal, I called Janet Yellen one of our great public servants. One of our great public servants. In the spring of 2022, she was fired, but she refused to leave office. And all of her successors or potential replacements, the Secretary Orlando, Lael Brainerd, Gary Gensler, they were all in the mainstream media. And so they pulled on Secretary Yellen, took her collar, and she responded. What did she do after that? In 2022, she ran down the Strategic Petroleum Reserve to suppress oil prices. So we are at a 4-decade low in terms of the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. And I don't know if anyone here has noticed, but the Middle East seems like it's pretty hot right now. And it doesn't seem like a great time to be at a low. So what Kevin's alluding to, and all of you can monitor this at home, I was on the War Room a couple weeks ago, and I mentioned to that audience there's something called the TGA. It's published every day, and it is the Treasury's account at the Federal Reserve. And it's a rainy day fund. Just like we all keep a cash cushion in our checking or savings account. The Treasury keeps a cash cushion. And to put that in perspective, when Donald Trump left office, that cash cushion was $1.5 billion. Secretary Mnuchin knew that we were in the middle of the COVID crisis, and it demanded a huge cushion. Right now, that cushion is around $700 billion. And I challenge Secretary Yellen not to run again between now and November 5th, because that is a rainy day fund. And because the deficits are so high, because the Biden administration, the Shady and the others are spending money, that is only about 1 month of output. So could you imagine the U.S. government's rainy day fund is only 1 month. Now, let's see if she's willing to take that down, because if she does, it's just it's back to my point of no return. The Treasury job and the Federal Reserve job are risk management jobs. Why did we get the great inflation of 2021 and 2022? The Federal Reserve failed the American people on risk management. They failed the American people. There was huge government spending, and the Federal Reserve kept on. So everyone wants that TGA account. Some other numbers that I would leave for everyone to watch is we have this gigantic budget deficit, the 67%, with 3.7% employment. Why are we running this deficit if the economy is so good? If I had reserve currency status and was running a 7% budget deficit, I could make Zimbabwe great. And it's what a waste of money. The next thing is since Joe Biden has come in office, the average American household, their percent of the national debt is $44,000 per household. Does anyone here feel like they've got their money worth?
I want to restate that for everybody, that since President Biden's taken office, your debt, your share of the debt has gone up by $44,000. So you owe $44,000 more in future taxes because of all these policies that have made the economy.
And so when Paul Krugman, one of my least favorite economists, when he writes in the New York Times, one of my least favorite papers, that you Americans don't understand how good Bidenism is that the economy's great. Why aren't you more great? Well, I say he thinks the American people are stupid, and we're not. Is everybody in economics, there's this term called equivalent, and it means that if any of us overspend on our credit card, we know the bill's coming due. Everybody in this room, 330 million Americans, intrinsically know that the government has run up their credit card. They are running up the credit card every day, and we know that there's a storm on the horizon. So we're saving. We are saving for the rainy day. So the more they spend, the more we definitely have to save. So that's why nobody's happy with this project. And then the other thing too is that, as Kevin said, in terms of income inequality, under President Trump, with Kevin in the engine room, the bottom 50% of Americans had near record wage gains, near record real income gains. They have under President Biden, it's negative. And it's a negative on the items. It's much more negative on the items we have to buy. Much more negative on housing, much more negative on insurance, much more negative on food. So when with the PhDs from the New York Times are saying that Americans don't understand, I'd say we do understand.
Yeah, I think they do. And in fact, let's go to the most important topic as we close. So how many people in this audience think that inflation is under control? But you're being told that inflation is under control. And the Fed is signaling that it's going to start cutting rates because inflation is under control. So the last question you, Scott, and I'm going to wrap is, do you think that the Fed is under control? Are they going to attack the economy to try to make us buy something?
I used to think that the Fed had an intrinsic bias, and then Jerome Powell went on 60 Minutes 2 weeks ago, and I thought it was one of the most political interviews I've ever seen. And you know it's a political interview when he says the Fed isn't political. Yeah, he goes, we're not political. And Scott Pelley, who was interviewing him, said, wasn't there a lot of debt issues? And all he talked about was one bipartisan bill, not the Biden debt.
So Scott, there's a much more important person than us that's not ready to come out now. And so I'd like to thank you guys so much for spending some time with us.
일단은 다른 여사들은 이제 됐고요. 1시에 트럼프가 이제 연설을 시작을 할 예정인데요. 1시 되기까지는
Please welcome CPAC Chairman Matt Schlapp
맷 슐랩가 나오는
Mercedes Schlapp.
그 중간 트럼프가 나오기 전 중간 시간에 지금 이 맷 슐랩하고 메르세데스 슐랩 부부가 지금 메꾸려고 하는가 봅니다.
We've talked about every serious issue. We've gone from immigration to sex trafficking to gender ideology to every single issue. You're smarter, you're ready, you're prepared, right? And now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the countdown to the general election to defeat Biden and to make sure that we triumph over our enemies. We appreciate you. We are humbled that you put your trust in us to help fight and lead in this battle. We will not stop. We will keep fighting. We are not going to let them destroy us, destroy this movement, destroy this freedom movement where globalism goes to die.
Hey, I've been reading some stories about all of you. They said you weren't going to show up to the CPAC this year. They said you were looking for an alternative. You didn't like the chaos. And you think tweets can be mean sometimes. I don't think you got that memo. Are you surprised that they're trying to make conservatives and people who love this country feel like we're little, we're a minority, that we're scrawny, that we're a niche? I'd like you to make some noise so that those folks running the World Economic Forum, the EU, and the UN can hear your reaction to, at CPAC 2024, globalism is going to die. But we have every continent except some penguins here at CPAC 2024. Different languages, different religions, different cultures, but a love of freedom. They say we don't care about what happens on the globe and that we're isolationists. But the people in this room care about human freedom. They care about the people, they care about the people around the globe. So, I have one final question for you. Do any of you have to go to the bathroom? It's too late, my friends. Enjoy the next couple moments because we're making American history. God bless you all.
Ladies and gentlemen, in anticipation of our next guest, we ask for your assistance. If you are standing in an aisle, along the wall, or in a doorway, even if the doors are closed, you must move. Please find a seat or move to the standing room viewing area located in the rear of the ballroom. If you have not found a seat prior to the start of programming, you will be asked to relocate. Again, standing in any aisle, doorways, or along the walls will not be permitted when programming resumes. We thank you for your assistance.
Newsmax has been terrific. President Trump is right. Millions are switching to Newsmax. It's the fastest growing streaming service in America. You don't need those woke streaming services anymore. Just get Newsmax Plus. Watch the best shows like Greg Kelly, Rob Schmidt, Greta Van Susteren, and Eric Bowling. Greg Kelly over at Newsmax. The Newsmax people have been really terrific. Gain access to exclusive documentaries, series, and special briefings. It's free to start, so go to NewsmaxPlus.com now to sign up and watch Newsmax anytime, anywhere.
On January 7, 2021, they tried to silence our voices forever as 1.2 million Americans were deplatformed, including our great real president, Donald Trump. It's been 3 long years of fighting to save our country and secure our election, but now our voice is bigger than ever. God has blessed me with GreatSpeech.com and our courageous Linda TV lineup of Campbell Robinson, Steve Bannon, and the great Drew Dodd, along with hundreds of other hosts. We want you to be informed and involved as we work to save our country. So watch our epic lineup on Linda TV at GreatSpeech.com. Thank you and God bless.
What if a country financed terror and undermined American security?
Would you support sanctions? Imagine a nation collaborating against U.S. interests with Iran, breaking international laws. Should sanctions follow? Consider a country engaged in espionage, manipulating academic institutes, and violating human rights. Is it time for sanctions? There is one country guilty of all these. Sanctions on Qatar now.
America is under attack. Our families are being crushed under the politics of a radical agenda. But moms have had enough. We are standing up and we are fighting back.
This is our battle. This battle is everybody's important as a revolutionary war because we fight for the same thing.
Moms for America is a national movement of moms reclaiming our culture for truth, family, freedom, and the Constitution.
Moms for America is exactly on track and is doing the right thing for the future of our country and our children.
Like Moms for America is going at the heart of the issue.
I am honored to join Moms for America today as we speak out against the horrific mandates.
With a national network of over 500,000 mothers, Moms for America is one of the fastest growing movements of women in the country.
The most dangerous place in all of nature is between a mama bear and her baby cub.
We are the change. No matter what, no matter where, and no matter how difficult the obstacles are that are facing us and our families, we will not give up and we will not give in.
So if not now, then when? If not you, then who?
Welcome to the online revolution.
Making an investment decision with someone is the most sacred act that can be performed in business. You see, most people do not reach their position in life easily. You're taking something harder and having faith that another will cherish and protect it as you do. Go to panex.us/learn and see why hundreds of Americans, just like you, have placed their faith in my family to generate them tremendous tax benefits and revenue by developing and producing American oil. For 3 generations, American oil is all my family's ever known. Go to panex.us/learn and see why the people at Panex, the people that you are on your team.
Champions are not born. They're made of movement. At Liberty University, we push ourselves in the classroom, on the athletic field, and in the community to go beyond.
네, 지금 이제 트럼프 전 대통령이 연설을 하러 나오기까지 시간이 좀 걸릴 것 같아서요. 그 사이에 저희가 좀 전해드릴 뉴스들, 소식들을 좀 몇 가지 전해드리려고 합니다. 트럼프 전 대통령이 이번에 공화당 대선 후보로서 거의 확정적인 상황이기 때문에요. 지금 올해 CPAC 행사에서는 연사들이 대부분 다 트럼프 대통령을 지지한다라는 지지 선언과 그리고 트럼프 대통령이 선택의 여지가 없이 다음 대통령이 되어야 한다라는 그런 이야기들이 계속해서 끊임없이 이어져 나왔고요. 왜 트럼프가 대통령이 돼야 되는지에 대한 이야기들이 계속해서 진행되어 왔습니다. 올해 CPAC 행사는 특별히 부통령 후보감들이 대거 강단에 올라서서 눈길을 끌었는데요. 바이런 도널즈 플로리다 하원 의원, 그리고 크리스틴 노엠 의원, 그리고 tulsi 게보드 전 하와이 하원 의원, 또 비벡 라마스와미하고 팀 스캇 상원 의원, 이런 인물들이 지금 하마평에 올라 있는 인물들이고요. 앨리스 스테파닉 제가 말씀드렸었죠. 이런 인물들이 전체적으로 강단에 올라서서 자기 자신을 어필을 하는 것뿐만 아니라 왜 트럼프가 다시 대통령이 되어야 하는지에 대한 이야기들을 논리적으로 잘 정연하게 설명을 해주었고, 지금 몇 가지 소식들이 있습니다. 민주당 의원들이 트럼프가 당선이 될 경우에 인증에 반대하겠다라는 이야기가 나오고 있습니다. 뭐냐면요, 디 애틀랜틱이라는 매거진이 있는데, 그 매거진에 민주당 의원들 여러 명이 인터뷰를 했습니다. 그 인터뷰한 내용들을 보면은 1월 6일 의회 사태가 벌어졌던 게 결국은 의회 인준을, 상하원 인준, 그러니까 대통령 선거 결과에 대한 의회 인준을 방해했다, 뭐 이런 거 아닙니까? 네. 마찬가지로 민주당 쪽에서도 만약에 트럼프가 올해 선거에서 이기게 되면 내년 1월 초에 의회 인준할 때 반대하는 그런 투표를 하겠다는 거죠. 인준 안 하겠다, 인준 거부 투표를 하겠다는 겁니다. 그렇게 해서 대통령 승인을 막겠다라는 이야기인데, 그게 과연 가능한 일이냐, 뭐 이런 기사가 나왔습니다. 실제로 가능해지려면 하원과 상원 양쪽 다 5분의 1이 찬성을 해야지만 이 선거인 명부를 거부할 수 있습니다. 선거인 명부에 대한 투표를 진행할 수가 있는 거죠. 이걸 받을 거냐 말 거냐에 대한 투표를 진행할 수 있는데, 이게 상하원 다 5분의 1이라는 규정이 생긴 게 이번 바이든 대통령 기간 중에 생긴 겁니다. 그 전에는 훨씬 쉬웠습니다. 예, 그 전에는 상하원에서 한 명만 해도 투표를 들어갈 수 있게 했었던 것이었는데, 1월 6일 사태가 있은 이후에 민주당이 집권하면서 규정을 바꿉니다. 새로운 규정에 따르면은 하원에서는 87명, 상원에서는 20명이 찬성을 해야지 어떤 게 50개 주를 각 주마다 선거인단 하나씩 호명하면서 인정할 거냐 안 할 거냐 이렇게 하는데, 한 주에 대해서 투표를 하자라고 이제 할 수 있는 숫자가 되는 거죠. 현실적으로는 쉬운 일은 아니다라는 이야기. 예. 현실적으로 쉬운 일은 아니지만 민주당이 이제 4분 5유라는 모습을 어쩌면 보게 될지도 모르겠습니다. 그러나 이들이 끝까지 이렇게 이야기하는 것은 상당히 좀 유감스러운 일일 수밖에 없는 거죠. 트럼프 한 개인을 때려잡기 위해서 너무나 많은 사람들이 지금 총동원되고 있는 모습, 이제 의회까지도 트럼프가 대통령이 되는 거에 대해서 어떻게 반대할지를 고민하고 있는 이런 상황을 저희가 보고 있습니다. 민주당 의원들이 이런 이야기를 한다는 걸 내보내는 건 현실적으로는 불가능하지만 어떤 거를 하는 거냐면요, 연방 대법원을 압박하기 위해서 이런 이야기가 나오는 겁니다. 연방 대법원이 지금 이제 콜롬비아주부터 시작해가지고, 콜로라도주부터 해가지고 트럼프 전 대통령을 투표 용지에 이름을 넣을 거냐 말 거냐, 그러니까 투표 자격을 줄 거냐 안 줄 거냐에 대한 심리를 지금 하고 있는 중이죠. 그러니까 그 심리 결과, 그 판결이 트럼프는 선거에 나올 자격이 있다라고 판결이 나오게 되면 민주당 쪽에서는 조직적으로 거부하기 위한 또 다른 움직임을 가져야 한다라는 이야기입니다. 그러니까 결국은 연방 대법원에서 트럼프가 선거에 출마하도록 자격을 주면, 그러면은 민주당이 의원들이 뭉쳐가지고 의회에서 막겠다라는 그런 제스처를 보여주고 있는 거죠. 이건 연방 대법원을 압박하기 위한 것인데 그들 뜻대로 잘 되지는 않을 것 같습니다만, 어찌됐든 간에 악랄하게 끝까지 막으려고 하는 움직임이 계속되고 있다라는 이야기. 예, 그런 이야기이고요.
Greetings, everyone. We need your assistance once again. We want all attendees watching at home to be able to see President Trump. Any rally signs or other items are for you to take home. They may not be raised at any time. Do not raise them during the speech. Again, we want everyone at home to be able to enjoy the remarks. Please make sure that you do not raise the signs at any time while in the ballroom.
네, 지금 또 안내방송이 나왔는데요. 트럼프 전 대통령의 연설을 모든 사람이 함께 다 같이 즐길 수 있도록 연설 도중에 뭐 카메라 같은 거 들지 말라고 그러는 거죠. 네. 그러면은 뭘 자꾸 들어올리면 뒤에 있는 사람들은 그것 때문에 가려서 시각이 안 보일 수 있으니까 많은 사람들이 함께 연설을 즐길 수 있도록 도와달라 뭐 이런 안내 방송이었습니다. 써니킴님 감사하고요. 자, 잘 들어오셨습니다. 케니님도 어서 오십시오. 만에 하나 투통이 출마를 하게 되면 비백을 출마를 못하게 되면 비백을 내세우길 바란다라고 케니님 얘기해 주셨는데요. 공화당 쪽은 사실은 투통이 만에 하나 못 나온다고 하더라도 대안으로 얘기될 수 있는 사람들이 사실 여러 명이 있습니다. 분열만 되지 않고 통합만 된다면 트럼프만한 파워풀한 후보자감은 여러 명이 있습니다. 누가 되든 나올 상관이 없을 수 있는데요, 사실은. 하지만 국민들이 지금 다 같이 원하는 것은 이미 4년 동안 옳은 정책으로 좋은 정치를 보여줬던 트럼프가 다시 백악관에 들어가는 걸 보기를 원하는 것이고요. 지금 제가 사실 많이 놀랐습니다. 뭐 자리가 어느 정도 차겠지라고는 생각했는데요. 자리가 넘쳐나서 지금 이 뒤쪽, 기자석 뒤쪽에 사람들이 지금 서 있습니다. 서서 입석표로 들어온 사람들이 있는 것 같은, 아마 좌석 숫자보다 더 많은 티켓을 판매한 것 같습니다. 그래서 엄청나게 많은 사람들이 지금 와 있는 그런 상황이고요. 저희가 지금 4번째 CPAC을 취재를 하는데 이렇게 많은 사람들이 모인 거는 전 처음 봅니다. 그러니까 아마 여기 모여 있는 사람들 숫자만 해도 뭐 4,000명은 좋게 넘을 것 같습니다. 느낌에. 네. 4,000명이 아니라 한 거의 6,000은 넘을 것 같은데요. 나중에 정확한 통계는 주최 측에서 이제 받아봐야 되겠습니다만은 하여튼 굉장히 많은 사람들이 지금 이제 이 행사에 모여와 있다라는 이야기. 잠시 뒤면은 이제 트럼프 대통령의 연설이 시작이 되겠습니다만은 지금 화장실도 못 가고 모든 사람들이 다 지금 자리를 잡고 앉아가지고 트럼프 전 대통령을 기다리고 있는 상황입니다. 그리고 한 가지만 더 짧게 말씀드리면 텍사스주의 법무장관 켄 팩스턴 법무장관이요. 불법 선거운동 혐의로 지방교육청을 제소했다, 소송을 제기했다라는 이야기가 나와 있습니다. 텍사스주의 덴튼이라는 지방교육청에서 공무원들이 공식적인 공무원들 이메일, 학교에서 교육청에서 발행한 공식 이메일 주소를 가지고 교육청 직원들한테 이메일을 뿌렸는데 그 이메일 내용 중에 이 학교 선택권을 지지하는 후보를 지지하면 안 된다라는 내용의 이메일이 뿌려졌다는 것이죠. 이건 이제 공직 선거법을 위반하는 것이기 때문에 이것에 대해서 이제 소송을 걸겠다라는 이야기입니다. 원래 공무원들은 중립을 지켜야 하는 것은 한국이나 미국이나 마찬가지이고요. 그리고 이제 공적인 자산, 이건 국민들이 낸 세금을 가지고 운영되고 있는 것이라서 공적인 자산을 이런 편향적인, 정치적인 편향된 선거운동, 선전에 활용해서는 안 되는 것이기 때문에 켄 팩스턴 법무장관 여전히 지금 열심히 잘하고 있습니다. 네, 그리고 어디 한번 또 볼까요? 애리조나주에서는 지금 비시민권자, 유권자가 등록이 된 사람들을 찾아내서 취소한 건수들이 여러 건 발견이 됐다라는 이제 보도가 또 나왔는데요. 특히 애리조나주의 마리코파 카우니하고 피마 카우니에서 그런 시민권자도 아닌데 유권자 등록이 되어져 있는 사람들이 발견이 됐다는 것이고요. 이들 대부분은 제3자 캠페인, 그러니까 유권자 등록하라고 운동하는 사람들이 등록을 해준 이런 케이스인 것으로 지금 알려졌습니다. 그래서 이게 좀 트럼프 전 대통령이 드디어 이제 무대에 나오는 것 같습니다. 음악이 시작이 됐고요. 사람들이 자리에서 다 일어나기 시작했습니다. 네, 지금 이제 음악에 맞춰서 손뼉을 치고 이제 장단을 맞추는 모습들이 보이기 시작하고, 이제부터 트럼프 대통령을 만나보시겠습니다. 음악이 조용해졌고.
Ladies and gentlemen, a reminder that electioneering is prohibited during all conference events and speeches. Please refrain from holding signs that either endorse or oppose the election of a candidate.
Down, 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 and the flame
Oh, but the fire come out. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, and the flames went higher. And it burns, the ring of fire, the ring of fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, and the flames went higher. And it burns, the ring of fire, the ring of fire. And it burns, the ring of fire, the ring of fire, the ring of fire, the ring of fire.
Ladies and gentlemen, a reminder that electioneering is prohibited during all conference events and speeches. Please refrain from holding signs that either endorse or oppose the election of a candidate. Thank you.
You made me cry when you said goodbye. Ain't that a shame? My tears feel like rain. Ain't that a shame? You're the one to blame. You broke my heart when you said we're apart. Ain't that a shame?
전체 객석을 다 돌아보는 모양입니다. 한 바퀴 다 돌려가지고. 대단한 날. 저희 묻어주는데 이런 식으로 이제 시간을 좀 지루하지 않게 도와주고 있는 거 아닌가 하는 이야기로 좀 나오고 있습니다.
can't walk out because I love you too much, baby. Why can't you see what you do to me when you don't believe a word I say? We can't go on together with suspicious minds, and we can't build our dreams on suspicious minds. So if a friend I know, I finally say hello, would I still see suspicion in your eyes? You can go again, ask me where I've been. You can't see the tears I realize crying. We can't go on together with suspicious minds, and we can't build our dreams on suspicious minds. Only my love's alive. All our problems is alright. There's no other good thing that you know I'll never can't walk out because I love you too much, baby. Why can't you see what you do to me when you don't believe a word I say? You know I'm caught in a trap. I can't walk out because I love you too much, baby. You know I'm caught in a trap. I can't walk out because I love you too much, baby. Caught in a trap. I can't walk out because I love you too much, baby. I can't walk out because I love you too much, baby. Caught in a trap. I can't walk out because I love you too much, baby. Caught in a trap. I can't walk out because I love you too much, baby.
Good times for a change. See the look I've had can make a good man turn back. So please, 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 let me get what I want this time. good man there. So for once in my life, let me get what I want. Lord knows it would be the first time. Lord knows it would be the first time.
But it would be nothing, nothing, nothing without a woman or a girl. See, man make the call, take us over the road. Man make the train, here's the heaven home. Man make the electric lights, take us out of the dark. And man make the boat of the water. And my father said, Noah, man, this is a man's world. But it wouldn't be nothing. I did my best, it wasn't much, I couldn't feel, so I tried to touch. I told the truth, I didn't and even though I know I'm wrong, I'll stand before the Lord and stop with nothing on my thumb, but hallelujah,
Now, just before dawn, through the silence, the field cut with a knife announces the cat who has now been reborn into man, to a different angelical life.
January 6th hostages.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
next President of the United States, President Donald J. Trump.
The men who died, who gave that right to me, and I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, Detroit down to Houston, and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. An American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the
This is a nice crowd. It's a great honor. The room's packed outside of this hall. If anybody would like to give up their space, let other people come in, please let us know. We'll take care of it. It's a tremendous celebration. Thank you very much, and hello to CPAC. We've been coming here a long time, and it's gotten bigger and better and more beautiful, and thank you very much. It's a big election going on today. You probably have read a little bit about it. And I'm supposed to be in a slightly different location, not too far away, but nevertheless, it's different. And I said, no, I'm sorry, I have to be at CPAC today. And I want to thank Matt and Mercedes Schlapp, two great people, along with the entire staff. Thank you very much, Mercedes Schlapp. The entire staff of the American Conservative Union, that's what it is. It's a conservative union. It's also a union of common sense. I've been saying it more and more. It's no conservative, it's common sense. And I don't know, maybe we'll have to put that, Matt, on the bottom of that. A group of people with common sense to save our country and make America great again. It's pretty simple. We have a tremendous group of dignitaries, leaders, world leaders, and local leaders, but we have from all over the world people with us right now at this moment in the room. And I'll just mention a few. President of Argentina, who's gotten a lot of publicity. He's a great gentleman. You know, he's MAGA. He's MAGA. Make Argentina great again. Oh, he said, I am MAGA. And then I realized he's one of the few who can really do it well. Make Argentina great again. Javier Milei. Thank you very much, Javier. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's a great honor to have him with us. Senator J.D. Vance. He's doing a Thank you, J.D. Congressman Corey Mills. Thank you. A very powerful competitor of mine. He is a quick one. He's a smart one. Vivek, where's Vivek? He endorsed me. I said, that's a great endorsement. Thank you, Vivek. Former senator and somebody that's been very nice to me over the years. I don't know why, but he has. Rick Santorum. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Rick. Former acting attorney general, somebody that's been very loyal to the administration and to his country, Matt Whitaker. Thank you. Thank you very much. The former chair of my Council of Economic Advisors, Kevin Hassel. A nice smile. Always has that beautiful smile. Somebody that very shortly will be a United States Senator, Carrie Lake. Where's Carrie? Wow, that's a pretty good hand you just got, Carrie. Well, she was very close to being governor, but unfortunately a lot of the voting machines just didn't work. They weren't working that particular day. The lines were miles long. They weren't working too well that day, Carrie, but it's one of those things. The judges said, well, not our fault. We better straighten out our elections pretty fast, because otherwise we're not going to have a country anymore. That's true. Thank you, Carrie. U.S. Senate candidate from Virginia, Hung Chow. Oh, he's got support. He's got some support. Wow. A man who is tough and smart and loves our country. He's the head of America First Legal. He's won a lot of cases, I can tell you, and he's a real guy. He's a real patriot. Stephen Miller, my friend. He's around here somewhere. There's a lot of people in this room. Thank you, Stephen. President of the Vox Party in Spain, Santiago Abascal. Thank you. Thank you. Great to meet you. We've made a lot of progress, too. Number 2 and number 1 very shortly, it seems like. That's what I'm reading. Let's see. That's what, a lot of it's fake news, so we can't go by everything. But that's what I'm hearing. Federal Deputy from Brazil, Eduardo Bolsonaro. North Carolina GOP chair, and I think he'll be probably going to a national position very shortly, Michael Watley. Fantastic. And we all know and love a man of great bravery in the administration, really a brave person. He went through hell and back, and he beat everybody. He just beat them along the way. Rick Grinnell. The president of Moms for America, Kimberly Fletcher. They just gave me their award. Thank you for that wonderful award. How about Moms for America? Donald Trump is the man of the year. Can you believe this? Have I made progress? Ah, boy. And man, the single greatest advertiser and purchaser of advertising in the history of America, Mike Lindell. An incredible lawyer, one of the most respected lawyers in the country, John Cole. John, thank you, John. And Stephen Moore, we all know, he's got great predictions if Trump wins. If Trump doesn't win, he says it's going to go bad. It's going to go bad fast. Stephen Moore, highly respected economist. Thank you, Stephen. And a man who I've had respect for certainly a long time. I won't tell you how long, too long. But somebody that I've listened to over the years, even when he was on CNN. That's when people used to watch CNN a lot. He always had the #1 show. He's an incredible... I agree with you. But he's an incredible guy, an incredible mind that loves our country, and he fights like hell for our country. the great Lou Dobbs. Thank you, Lou. You look good, Lou. And we have Tom Fit. We have so many people. Tom Fit. Where's Tom Fit? Stand up, Tom Fit. Stand up, Steve Bannon. Where's Steve Bannon? Stand up, Bannon. Where the hell? He still looks good. Tom always looks good. I don't know. I think he does that weightlifting stuff, Tom, right? Bannon looks good. We love Steve. We love them all. We love them all. We have so many others in the audience, and I want to say hello, but we have to get down to business because I want to win the award as the best, whatever the hell they call it, the best speaker, I think they say. Who made the best speech? And if I keep introducing people, I'm not going to win it this year. I've won it like 9 years in a row, right? I got to get going. So thank you, everybody, for being here. We appreciate it very much. Appreciate it very much. Gorka, did I see the Gorka man? Yeah, stand up, Gorka, quick, get up. How good is he? Sebastian? Steph, they call him Steph, I call him Sebastian. Thank you, Sebastian, just spotted you, it's fucking replacing. 4 years ago, I told you that if crooked Joe Biden got to the White House, our borders would be abolished. Our middle class would be decimated and our communities would be plagued by bloodshed, chaos, and violent crime. We were right about everything. So believe me when I offer you another warning, and we've been right about so much, just about everything. If crooked Joe Biden and his thugs win in 2024, the worst is yet to come. Our country will go and sink to levels that were unimaginable. And just think about it. With 4 more years of Biden, the hordes of illegal aliens stampeding across our borders will exceed 40 to 50 million people. Medicare, Social Security, healthcare, and public education will buckle and collapse. It will collapse. As sure as you're sitting or standing there, it will collapse. Our economy will be starved of energy by crooked Joe's vindictive Green New Scam. It's a Green New Scam. It will be the destruction of our country. It is indeed a scam, and most of them know it. Some of them, the fools, believe it, but most of them know it. Millions of manufacturing jobs will be choked off into extinction, and you'll have constant lockouts and blackouts and rampant inflation. Ruthless gangs will explode even more into the suburbs, and when they talk about suburban women, they're going to love me so much. They're going to say, oh, I wish we had that guy back. The gangs will be invading your territory, I can tell you that. While weaponized law enforcement hunts for conservatives and people of faith, religious, Hamas and Antifa will terrorize our streets while their brutal ideology, and it is brutal indeed, it is brutal and horrible like nobody's ever seen before, takes over our schools. China will dominate us, not just economically, but militarily, and that's what they want, and that's where they're heading, but they weren't heading there with me. I took over $400 billion out of China, and they weren't too happy about it, and then all of a sudden, we had the China virus. I happen to think it was incompetence, but a lot of people disagree with that. And a declining crooked Joe Biden. He's the crookedest, most incompetent president in the history of our country. We'll soon have us losing World War III. We won't even be in World War III. We'll be losing World War III with weapons the likes of which nobody has ever seen before. These are the stakes of this election. Our country is being destroyed, and the only thing standing between you and its obliteration is me. It's true. Victor Orban, somebody I respect greatly. A lot of people respect him. Tough guy, smart guy. He made the statement recently. He said, "We bring back Trump, it'll all stop." We all listened to Trump. They respected Trump. He actually said it stronger than they said they were afraid of Trump. I don't want people to be afraid of him. But he said China was afraid, Russia was afraid. They were all afraid of Trump. Bring him back, and it'll all go back. And I will tell you, we had things at a level that nobody's ever seen before. We had no wars. We had defeated ISIS, rid of the worst terrorists in the world. You know that.
That's right.
We solely defeated. We took 100% of ISIS gone. And then we had no wars. 4 years we had no wars. First time in 72 years. Hillary Clinton, during one of our debates, if you remember that, she said, look at him, listen to him, he's going to cause wars, we'll be in wars. No. It turned out that I was able to stop wars from happening and brought our troops back home. We got out of these ridiculous, endless wars, killing people on both sides, costing trillions of dollars. Crooked Joe and his henchmen have you trapped, and it's an express train barreling toward servitude and to ruin. It's moving at a speed that Joe doesn't understand, because Joe actually, I don't think he knows what the hell's going on. He's surrounded by some very bad fascists. A vote for Trump is your ticket back to freedom. It's your passport out of tyranny, and it's your own escape from Joe Biden and his gangs fast-tracked to hell. And in many ways, we're living in hell right now. Because the fact is, Joe Biden is a threat to democracy. He really is a threat to democracy. I stand before you today not only as your past and hopefully future president, but as a proud political dissident. I am a dissident. Remember this, I've been indicted more than Alphonse Capone, Mr. President. You know who that is? Even the president is an I do. Scarface, Al Capone. If he had dinner with you, and he didn't like the smile on your face, he thought you were mocking him by smiling, you would be dead before you got home and said hello to your wife. And Alphonse Capone, I got indicted 4 times by this gang of thugs for nothing. Or, as I say respectfully to the people from foreign countries, for bullshit. Dangerous what's going on. They've weaponized government, they've weaponized the DOJ, the FBI. We've never had anything like this in this country, and it's a phenomenon that's taken place many times, but in third world countries and in banana republics, not in the United States of America. So it's very dangerous, and they are indeed a threat to democracy. And I'm here to unleash this captive nation from Joe Biden and his gang of very bad people, very sick people, smart people, intelligent people, but they're hell-bent on the destruction of American freedom. It's happening in our country, and it's so obvious. I have people come to see me from other lands where this has gone on, especially in South America, Latin America, and they'll say, the same thing happened to my country 20 years ago. It was the same thing. It's all happening, and if we don't stop it, this is it. 2024. If we don't stop it, this is our last train. If we don't stop it, we're going to have a country. It won't even be a country to one another. It won't even be a country. It's breaking up. That's right. If we can break out of the Biden nightmare, and it is a nightmare, he's the most incompetent person. Can you imagine this man who can't walk off a stage? He can't find the stairs. Where are the heroes? Where? He makes a 2-minute speech because that's about the only, they couldn't get any more fuel than that. Whatever happened to the cocaine they found in the Where is it? By the way, I have to say, because I have such respect for this audience and CPAC, I would have never spoken, and I never did, about him because of my respect for the office of the president. Great respect for that office. But once I got indicted the first time, remember that? I got indicted, and I got impeached twice. We won that. And we'll win all of this stuff. Once I got indicted, I said, well, now the gloves have to come off because they did something. Those, you know, the fake news, before these indictments, the fake news, almost everyone, well, he'll never be indicted. You don't do that. He was a very popular, but you know, I got more votes than any sitting president in history, almost 75 years. Substantially more than any other president, sitting president has gotten, and they would say, oh no, he'll never be indicted. These are people that, some of them truly have Trump derangement syndrome, and they were saying, he'll never be indicted, they won't do that, they'll never, he did it, they did it, they actually, and it was all done by him, in order to go after your political opponent so that you can damage him enough that you can maybe win, but it's had the reverse effect. Because our poll numbers have gone through the roof. That wasn't supposed to happen. And it's probably never happened before. I've watched over the years as politicians get indicted. And they start by going to a microphone about 2 minutes after that. Ladies and gentlemen, I will be resigning from office today. And I will be go home with my family, my friends. And I will fight for my name. Well, that's the last you ever hear from that poor guy. And with me, we have a big voice. You can see by this crowd today. Look at that. Standing room only, they're all over the place. They have 3 rooms. I have a voice that I can explain it all, like the laptop from hell when they impeached me. And it turned out I was right after going through all that. And now they say, you know, we shouldn't have impeached him. He was right because the laptop from hell showed that I was 100% right. All of these things, we were right on all of it, but we're in a very bad path. It's a very, very dangerous path that we are on as a country because the other side, which I find tends to be a much nicer group of people, and maybe foolishly so, but the other side can also get nasty, and at some point they probably will have to do that. Because we cannot let this weaponization go on against the Republican Party, against religion, against conservatives. We cannot let this continue to happen. So we can break out of this Biden nightmare. It's a nightmare. Our country is no longer respected. We're laughed at all over the world. We have to break out of the nightmare that we're in. And we have it in the grasp to make America richer and safer and stronger and prouder and more beautiful than ever before. I think we have a final shot at it, but if we don't do well in this next election, or if they cheat enough that they can steal it, which is, I think, the only way they can win. Who the hell can win when you have 16 million people pouring into our country from places unknown? We have countries that nobody ever even heard of from all over the world. Yesterday they had many people caught from prisons in, you remember this, right? Prisons in the Congo. Let me tell you, the only good thing is they make our prisoners and our bad gang members look like very nice people by comparison. That's the one good thing. All of a sudden, we're starting to like our prisoners and our horrible, violent criminals because they're nicer than the people that are flowing in. They're coming from Asia. They're coming from the Middle East. They're coming from all over the world. Coming from Africa. And we're not going to stand for it anymore. As a country, we're not going to stand for it anymore. We're destroying our country. And we built think of it. We're the safest border. 3 years ago, we had the safest border in the history of our country. Now we have the worst border in the history of the world. There's never been a country ever, third world countries, they've never been like this. They would have fought with sticks and stones. They didn't need rifles. We have the best in the world, but we let everyone, because we're fools. Either they want to destroy our country or they're stupid. And I don't think they're stupid, because anybody that can cheat on elections like they do is not stupid. That means they want to destroy our country. But who can win an election when you have that? Who can win an election when you have high interest rates, you can't buy a home, where you have bad education, where everything's woke? We did things that nobody can imagine. So many, 1,000 elements we did. You have a book. This is 1,000 things nobody could even imagine. And then all of a sudden, something very bad happened. Israel would have never happened. The attack on Israel would have never happened. Remember, Iran was broke. They were broke. Ukraine would have never happened. I talked to Putin a lot. Got along with him well. Although he did announce the other day that he'd much rather see Biden as president. And I agree with him. I agree, because, you know, I ended Nord Stream, right? I ended Nord Stream. Nobody ever heard of Nord Stream. That's the biggest pipeline in the world. Going into Germany, what's that all about? We defend Germany and Europe, and then they go and pay billions of dollars to the people that we're defending them against. How do you figure that one, right? And I stopped it, it was over, and then Biden comes in, and within 3 days he approves Nord Stream. But he kills Keystone Pipeline, right? He kills Keystone. He approves the Russian pipeline. The biggest in the world, billions and billions of dollars a month come flowing in. But he ends the Keystone XL pipeline. And then they say, Trump is too nice to Russia. I'm nice. I'm the one that gave him the 100 javelins, the thousands of javelins that knocked out the tanks, but they knocked out 100 tanks in the first 2 days with the javelins that I gave. Remember, they said, Obama gave pillows, and Trump gave javelins. And then they say, oh, Trump was so nice to Russia. No. Putin would say, if you're being nice, I hate like hell to think of what you'd be if you were not nice. But we were tough, and we were smart, and we were right. We were righteous and everything. We were right. And what they've done is unbelievable. What they did with the border, allowing these people to flow in, is unbelievable. But to achieve a great future, we first have to throw off the chains of our out-of-control political class, and that begins with telling crooked Joe Biden, you remember The Apprentice? Crooked Joe Biden, you're fired. Get out of here. Get out of this. You're destroying our country. You're fired, Biden. Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here. Because after his political opponents, let's go after them. See if we can indict him so that maybe we can win. A little bit of a backlash will. The numbers go up. But anybody that does that and all these other things they've done, they're destroying our country. We're not respected anywhere anymore. We're laughed at. We've become a joke as a country. For years you've watched as the entire Washington cesspool has been feeding on the wealth and hopes and dreams of hardworking Americans, really hardworking Americans. They've feasted on the profits of job-killing trade deals. They've gorged themselves on the spoils of endless wars. And now what they crave, they want it so badly, is permanent political power and dominance for whatever reason. They're sickos, that's why. In 2016, we gave these corrupt insiders their chance to change, and with Biden, they answered with hoaxes and witch hunts, censorship, lockdowns, and with total repression. 8 years later, the swamp has rejected your righteous pleas to reform, and we have to do this, and we're going to reform, and we're going to have freedom again. We're going to have freedom again. We do not have freedom, and we have the most corrupt press anywhere. These people are corrupt. They are corrupt. Not all of them. About 92%. There's some wonderful journalists, you really do, but they're just overwhelmed by the people that know they're doing so. I watch ABC, CBS, NBC. I mean, it's so, I don't even talk about CNN because nobody watches them anymore. MSDNC is horrible, horrible. But fortunately, not a lot of people are watching them anymore. I mean, they've tuned out. But the press has to straighten itself out. You know, they're all doing badly, and they're doing badly because they're fake news. There's another one we call fake news. The only problem with that term, it's not strong enough. I wish it was stronger. At the ballot box this November, it's you and the people you have to be, and we'll deliver a reckoning like they haven't even imagined before. We're going to straighten out our country. We're going to bring our country back. For hardworking Americans, November 5th will be our new Liberation Day, but for the liars and cheaters and fraudsters and censors and imposters who have commandeered our government, it will be their Judgment Day. When we win, the curtain closes on their corrupt reign and the sun rises on a bright new future for America. That's what we have to have. I believe it's our last chance. You know, I used to say how important in 2016, you got to do it's the most important election. I meant it, but that was nothing compared to where we are now. But, you know, we had a big border problem and I solved it. So much so that in 2020, I couldn't even mention it. I'd say, let's talk about the border. Sir, you've solved that problem. You don't have a border. I don't care. I want to talk about the border. I talk about the border. Everybody would sit there. They wouldn't even say anything. We had no problem. I solved it. But who would have thought that now we have a border problem that's 20 times worse than what we had in 2016? 20 times. And we'll solve that one too. But it's going to have to be very strong action. It's going to have to happen fast before our country is just totally overwhelmed. Your victory will be our ultimate vindication. Your liberty will be our ultimate reward. And the unprecedented success of the United States of America will be my ultimate and absolute revenge. That's what I want. Success will be our revenge. I love those young people over there. But have you seen, the closer we get to this magnificent liberation of our country, the more desperate the Biden regime's evil persecution against us has become. They become more and more violent. The Stalinist show trials being carried out at the Joe Biden orders set fire not only to our system of government, but to hundreds of years of Western legal tradition. You see what's happening. They've replaced law, precedent, and due process with a rabid mob of radical left Democrat partisans masquerading as judges and juries and prosecutors and executioners. That's what they are. Gone through trials. The level of hatred from these judges. There's no way you get fair trials. The level of hatred from prosecutors, when they know you've done nothing wrong, it's sick. These are sick people. The only crime I've ever committed is defending America and those who want to destroy it. I will fight those who want to destroy it. And they're very angry at me because I won an election that wasn't supposed to happen, and they were caught off guard. And they said, we'll never let that happen again. And in 2020, they cheated like dogs. And we all know. For that and that alone, Biden and his deranged prosecutors, attorney generals, local district attorneys are trying to take away my liberty. They're trying to take it away. They're trying to steal my liberty. If there's any shred of justice left, they will fail and we will win. And so far, we're doing very nicely. Thank you. But I would rather lose my freedom than surrender to this group of thugs and tyrants, fascists, scoundrels, and rogues. The more the corrupt establishment tries to stop us, the more you know the day is near at hand when we will break free from their grip. We're going to break free very soon. We're going to break free from their grip very soon. You heard the J6 hostages, didn't you? You heard that. And I will tell you, there's never been in the history of our country a group of people treated the way they've been treated. There's never been anything like it. Carpenters, mechanics, lawyers, firemen, policemen, military people. They went to protest a rigged election, and they've been sentenced to years in prison. When they burn down Portland, when they take over a vast section of Seattle, when they burn down Minneapolis, and I had to watch television as a CNN reporter is standing saying, this is a peaceful protest. This is a peaceful protest. And the whole damn city behind them is burning to the ground. Do you remember that? As far as the eye could see. Minneapolis burning to the ground. This is a peaceful protest. And then he got hit on the knee and he went down. No, it's crazy what's going on. And if I tell you what, if I didn't bring in the National Guard, because the governor didn't want to do it, they never want to do it. If I didn't bring in the National Guard, I wish I didn't wait 6 days, but if I didn't bring in the National Guard, you wouldn't even have a city yet. You wouldn't even have, that city was going down. They'll only motivate us more to make America great again. We have to make America great again. That's our mission. People say, what is your mission, sir? I remember when Ted Kennedy, he was actually a friend of mine, slightly different viewpoint on that. But they asked him a question, took him down. What plans do you have for America? Why are you running? And somehow, that's a much harder question than you think. You're answering all the little details. Then they ask, what are your plans for America? I took them down, actually took them down. I just say, my plans are very simple. Make America great again. That's all I say. The first and most urgent action when we win will be the sealing of the border, stopping the invasion, drill, baby, drill, send Joe Biden's illegal aliens back home. We'll do all of those things. We're going to have to go fast. There's no country can sustain what's happening in our country. You look at New York, where I originally came from. I love New York. And you take a look at what's happening. Hundreds of thousands of people, they've taken over the streets, Madison Avenue. They've taken over Queens. They've taken over Brooklyn and the Bronx. They've taken over the whole city. The Little Leaguers can't play anymore because people are there that can't play. But it took longer than I thought, but I predicted this. It's called the migrant crime. And it's far more deadly than anybody thought. They will actually have fistfights with police in the middle of the street. You saw that the other day, where they attack police. Even our bad criminals, they never have fistfights with them. They do things and they talk and they shout. But these guys are actually, and the interesting thing? In their country, if they ever did that, they'd be dead within seconds. They'd be dead. I know where they come from. I know people that run those countries. I know the presidents and the dictators. I know every one of them. Some are dictators, some are prime ministers. But they're tough guys. They're tough guys. And those thugs that gave the middle finger to our police and then started fighting them and actually threw 2 of them down and started beating the hell out of them. Although they fought back bravely, the 2. But these are tough people. And they know that in their country they'd be dead within minutes. They would be dead as a doornail within minutes. And so they came over here. So it took a long time, but now it's talking. Now you're seeing it. It's migrant crime. It's a new category of crime. And I wanted to call it Biden migrant crime, but it's too long. So we just call it migrant crime. We have a new category, migrant crime. And it's going to be more severe than violent crime and crime as we knew it. Because we have millions and millions of people. And they came from prisons and jails. They came from mental institutions and insane asylums. No, they're not the same thing. An insane asylum is a mental institution on steroids. It's Silence of the Lambs. Hannibal Lecter. They're all being deposited into our country. And then you have terrorists, and then you have drugs, and then you have human traffickers. And they're coming over at levels never seen before. We've never seen anything like this. 3 years ago, we had the safest and most secure border in U.S. history. We ended catch and release, except when it was catch and release in Mexico. We had catch and release in our country. We built 571 miles of border wall, far more than I said I was going to build, and I couldn't get a damn thing. Paul Ryan, who's Paul Ryan, super rhino. He's a super rhino. I couldn't get it through Paul Ryan. They said, sir, if you wait till next year. I said, you sure? They said, don't forget I had never done this stuff before. I'm still the president, and these guys are bullshitting me. He said, sir, if you would just sign this budget and wait, next year we'll put it. Then next year came, I said, where's my wall? He said, sir, you're not going to be able to get it. In the meantime, they give trillions of dollars to the Democrats for the Green New scam. So what I did is I improved the military and I took it out of the military. That's how I built it. I built the wall through the military. And the military, by the way, the Army Corps of Engineers did a great job. But I built it through 571 miles and 200 miles ready to go. It was laying there ready to be installed. It would have been 3 weeks. The entire thing would have been double what I promised. And then we had the rigged election and they said, we don't want to build the wall. We don't want to build it. I said, you know, they really do want open walls. I figured it was maybe just talk. They said they really want an open border. Nobody could understand it. They really want an open border. And that's when it began. And that's when our country had really, because we can look, we can drill, we have more energy, we have more liquid gold than any other country. We can drill, we can do all of these things. We have a problem because we have, by the time this guy, trying to be nice, but I don't have to be nice anymore because he indicted me. But I'm trying to be nice anyway. But by the time this guy gets out of office, we'll have 18 million people, in my opinion, in a country that shouldn't be here. And they do come from prisons and mental institutions, and they are terrorists. And we're going to be paying a price, and it'll be the largest deportation in the history of our country. Thing to say, and I hate to say it. And those clowns in the media will say, oh, he's so mean. He said, no, they're killing our people. They're killing our country. They're killing our people. We have no choice. You know, when I went to Mexico, I said, Mr. President, you're going to have to give us 28,000 soldiers because the caravans, that was another name I came up with. I come up with good things. Long-time politicians come to see me, sir, could you give a name to my opponent? I said, how long are you a politician? 28 years, sir. You can't come up with your own name. Caravan. But I went to the president of Mexico. I said, they're coming through your country. Thousands and thousands of people in these caravans. They have one coming up now, supposedly 25,000 people. They're going to walk right into our country. We have no idea who the hell they are. But it started with Honduras. It started with El Salvador. They just started. Now we're equal opportunity. We have every country. We have countries that, honestly, nobody has ever heard of. We have languages coming into our country. We don't have one instructor in our entire nation that can speak that language. These are languages. It's the craziest thing. They have languages that nobody in this country has ever heard of. It's a very horrible thing. I said to the president of Mexico, you're going to have to give us 28,000 soldiers for your charge. No, I will not. I will not do that. I cannot do that. And I said, no, you will. No, I will not do it. I said, listen, you and I friends, I really like them a lot. So I said, listen, you and I, just give me a negotiator, because I don't want to do this. And he said, I will do that. And he sent me this very handsome guy, very good. So handsome, so beautifully dressed. In fact, I asked him for the name of his tailor. Then when I found out how much he paid for the suit, I said, forget it. But he was a handsome devil. And I said, listen, you're going to have to do a few things. You're going to have to give me 28,000 soldiers. You know, Tom Homan was up before. He's fantastic. And he does go around saying, I love this guy. He says, Trump was the greatest president in history, and on the border, there has never been in his lifetime any president that was even close. And he's right about that. He's right. But Brandon, you have unbelievable people. All they had to do is leave it alone. But I said, you have to give us 28,000 soldiers. No. Then the new guy comes in, the representative. Yes, sir, what can I do? Now, I asked Tom Homan, Brandon Judd, and a person from the State Department, a wonderful woman. She's been there for over 20 years. She covered Mexico for over 20 years. She knew, and she was competent. She was good. She wasn't a good negotiator. And I said, what would you like? Give me a top. I want a top 10 list. Well, sir, we'd like to remain in Mexico, but we've been trying to get that for years. You won't be able to get that, and you won't be able to get a catch and release in Mexico. You know, we have catch and release, and we catch a criminal and we release them in our country. I said, no. Catch and release is fine in Mexico. Title 42, I want. with the sick people and with the children, how to get the children back to their parents. All of these things, they gave me a list. But they thought they were wasting time. It was a list of 10 things, tough things. Just ask Tijuana if they were tough. Tijuana became one of the largest cities in the world all of a sudden. They said, what the hell is going on? So this guy comes in, and I say, look, number one, I want 28,000 soldiers free of charge. And he goes, oh, we're not going to do that. We're not doing it. He thought I was crazy, brother. I said, no, you're going to do it, 100%. No, we're not going to do it. I said, you're going to do it. I guarantee you. You're going to do it. He goes, no way. I said, way.